Hello, welcome back. Today's video is on a little experiment I've been running with myself. I listened to a few podcasts. There's actually this one podcast that I adore. I'll link it in the bottom. And they did a chakra series deep dive and ran through all of the different chakras and different ways that you can work on them and honor them and practice healing them and balancing them. It brought me to be inspired to explore my own because I've always known about them, I've always worked with them, but I've never given my undivided attention to every single one. I've noticed in my own energy work, being a Reiki practitioner, I perform Reiki on myself regularly, and I'll be able to sense where my blocks are or where my light is dim, so to speak, but it's never sequential. So what I decided to do with myself is spend about a week or so focusing on every different chakra. This video is not for people that are like, what's a chakra? I'm not going to get into that. There's tons of other beautiful resources out there for you if you're curious. What this is on is my experience working on my root. So what I learned in that podcast was your root is like the most important. It's about your sense of safety and security and groundedness and feeling protected and just able to keep your feet on the ground. I've been learning that just as a house needs a really stable foundation, we all need a really stable root. As you work on these lower chakras, everything else kind of starts to align too. You can have beautiful walls and a beautiful roof only after you've built a really solid foundation for your home. In my week moving through the root chakra, I had a lot of different realizations and mantras that I would repeat to myself, like I am safe, I am secure, I am grounded, I am protected. All of these concepts that really influenced my sense of embodiment. I'm able to now, still reminding myself of these. You know, that's one thing with chakras is like, you're never quite done. Life and experience and thoughts will constantly cause them to shift and ebb and flow. So it's about keeping them as balanced as you can, but it's not like you balance and walk away and it just stays like that. It's good reminders to be able to dip back and forth in between what we're experiencing and make sure that we're really anchored and grounded in our truth. I created different vision boards, so to speak, which I'll pop one up over here, my root chakra one, and I have used them as my wallpaper for the duration of my focus on them. So I have that reminder constantly whenever I check my phone, and I work on my phone. My day job requires me to be on my phone all the time. So having that little extra reminder was really powerful. What I noticed was a sense of settledness and stability, like in my being. Like I said, I've never really focused on the root, but I didn't realize that some of my expressive blocks or creative blocks or confidence blocks or even ability to receive, all of those sacral, solar, heart, throat chakras were really linked to my root. And the root's so important and I feel like so easily overlooked because it's not as glamorous as your third eye or your crown or your heart. As I started to work on my root, I noticed myself feeling more comfortable in my bones and feeling more comfortable with my mission and my purpose. I would remind myself of the affirmations: I am safe, I am grounded, I am stable, I'm protected. It wasn't until I started doing this that I would really notice the different ways that my energy would shift. Not that I would be overwhelmed with anxiety, but I would start to creep into energetic instability where I'm questioning and a little bit fearful and a little bit insecure with the ability to allow myself to embody certain things, do certain tasks, or even have certain beliefs. By spending that week like settling in and centering in and just making sure that I remind myself that I am safe, I am protected, I am grounded, I'm secure, I'm stable. It was very meditative. It was just constantly bringing me back to center, constantly bringing me back to the present moment. One of my favorite quotes is Buddha, and it's "Be where you are, otherwise you will miss your life." That speaks a lot to the monkey mind we can presume, but also the way that we can get stuck daydreaming instead of being present, or wishing or wanting for things when everything we have is everything we need. These tiny little tidbits are what have really come up for me as I explored the root and as I found myself finding safety just in being myself, and reminding myself that protection and security. I want to say working on my root has also really connected me to my crown in a way where I'm trusting myself, I'm knowing myself, I'm trusting my connection to the divine, I'm trusting that I am an expression of source, I am love reincarnated, as we all are. Like, we are all literally stardust, come from the stars. Our souls travel down here to have this experience, to grow in different ways. By finding that sense of groundedness and stability and protection, it's a lot easier to figure out how to navigate this human experience. Sometimes I get really in my head in terms of like my thoughts, or I'll also feel kind of detached or guilty or those types of things. And when I'd consistently remind myself that it's okay, I'm protected, I'm safe, I'm grounded, I'm worthy, those types of fundamentals, it really helped me be able to move through the different stages that I had to. So, yes, highly recommend learning about your root, working on your root, because if you have confidence issues in your solar, or your heart feels closed off, or you're trying to connect more with different spirits or guides or ancestors, just know that it will make it 100 trillion times easier when you're grounded, when you're secure, when you're feeling stable, and when you're feeling yourself. You're able to embody those higher aspects when you have a really strong foundation. I love you. Thanks for joining.